All right, everybody. I'm Will. I'm
Uh,
Wick's friend. I live in Fort Lauderdale.
Yep. Other side of the dick of America.
Yep.
Um, we're in Sarasota right now. Um, like I said, we have no rhyme to reason. Oh, whatever the light is on, that tells us that one's on too. So if we want to look at
Okay.
the thing, all right. Obviously, we have no idea what we're doing. We're still
Nope.
winging it. This is like round two for podcasting. Hey, it's on that one now. Um, yeah. So he did something pretty cool recently. So he'll tell you a little bit about that. And it falls in the same category of, if you follow me on social media, um, I've talked about tourniquets. Like, tourniquets are a thing that you should have, like, with you at all times.
All times. And that's because a little bit of background on me. I was in the army for 8 years, or almost 8 years. I tell people 8 years because I just rounded up, but whatever. Anyway,
Close enough.
whatever. And so I was 11 Bravo. I was an infantryman, and you know, every MOS when I eventually reclassed into the reserves after I got out of active duty, um, most soldiers they do a class called CLS, and my reserve unit was ramping up to go to Afghanistan, and they told me, "Well, you can't go because you're a mechanic." So I said, "Okay, whatever." And they're like, "But do you want to go to the class with us, the CLS class?" And I said, "Sure." I also did it when I was active duty, but one of the main components of our training was, you know, how to use, basic first aid. We'd get things called an IFAC, individual first aid kits, and every soldier on our kit, I had mine here. Some units standardized them. I don't remember. I think ours did, but my unit got disbanded in 2016. So who knows?
When you see me running around at the range, I have, depending on what I'm wearing, I always have one on my left leg. It's a drop pouch that it quick disconnects if need be, and then on the carrier that's
I
over
think you had
there,
a bag that had
it's
an
I have
IFAC.
one clipped to the back of my carrier that I can reach as well.
Yeah, no, I'm also a nurse. I'm an ICU nurse. I'm not a terrible nurse. I don't have any good first aid kits, but I do have these, and I do know how to use these. And I've given these as gifts to my friends and my family. I've taught them how to use it. At the hospital, one time we had an incident where someone had a bleeding fistula, and I wasn't there, but everyone wishes I was. And after that, I taught the entire unit how to use one of these. Now the ones in the hospital are orange, but they work the same.
Yeah.
They're legit cat tourniquets. These are the Chinese knockoff, but they work just fine.
Yeah.
I mean, you're still gonna be able to, and then you windage it until the bleeding stops, and you go, man, does that really work? And I
Yeah.
can tell you from experience, yes,
Yeah.
it does. And it hurts.
Yeah.
It fucking hurts.
Yes, it does. Now we just tossed out there that these are the Chinese ones. I go on Amazon, that giant evil corporation, and I'll buy these 8 at a time. It's cheap. It's like $45 or something for 8 of them. Because one thing people don't think about, they're like, oh no, I want the like official cat tourniquet. I'm gonna go spend, what are they, like $35?
No, they're more like the what you call it, Broward County Sheriff's officers. I'll get there why I was talking to them. They told me they're like cat tourniquets with like
The little
cool gangster. This is my EDC carry from Stay Ready Gear. They're not a company anymore, but when I get another holster someday, I'm probably gonna go with Bucks, his buddy over there. But they're made from the same. They're Kydex, and you could put the cat tourniquets in the Kydex. And they're like $70.
Yeah, no, I have one of those on the battle belt that's in my van.
Yeah, man.
But one thing people don't think about is, does it matter that this Chinese tourniquet is not gonna handle, 50 uses? No, because if you use this, it's covered in blood.
Yeah, they're gonna cut it off, and it's not gonna be able to be used again.
And even if it's not cut off, it's covered in blood. You're gonna throw the fucking thing away.
They cut it off, and I'll tell you how I know this. So it was, it was like a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. I think it was almost 2 months ago now. I got off work because I work day shift 7 to 7. Got home. My girlfriend, her daughter was away for the summer, so she was staying with me. and I had to go to work in the morning for training. It was just like, so I was like, oh, I'll stay up a little longer because I don't have to go to work right at 7. Didn't have to wake up at 5. But so it's about 11. We're playing that new cat game that came out, that Stray game. Pretty good game. I highly recommend it. Listen, he's not a gamer. I am. I'm telling you, it's good. Anyway, so we're playing, and then all of a sudden we hear, bang, smash, crash. I'm like, what the fuck was that? And I'm like, dang, that sounds crazy. And my house, there's neighbors behind me. They're not on my street. They're on the other street. That's a cul-de-sac all the way around. My neighborhood's weird. Anyway, so I go in my backyard and I'm like, what the heck's going on? Like, these people arguing, and I hear some yelling and some screaming. I'm like, oh no. So I look over the fence to make sure everything's okay. Of course, I assess the threat, make sure there's no threat to me, my girlfriend, or another person. Once I deemed there was no threat, I looked and I see a bigger gentleman, bigger than you, sitting there holding his arm like this, and he's like, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Holy shit.
He showed me the pictures of the wound. It's not just like, his hand isn't covering it. Like, his hand is not big enough. It was just whole thing.
No, his hand was, he's a big dude. Anthony's a big dude. He told me I could tell. Didn't say
Okay.
his name. Anthony's a big dude, and he was holding his arm like this. I'm like, oh shit. And then I see there's blood everywhere. Everywhere. I couldn't believe, I've never seen that much blood, like, ever. And so I was like, shit. I run inside, and I'm like, my adrenaline's running a little bit. So the first place I remember where I keep tourniquets is my truck. So I have one on my kit too, but I was just like, first place I could think of. So I run to my truck, open my truck, grab my tourniquet, and it's funny because it's an old cat tourniquet, legit cat tourniquet I had from the Army. So it was old, and it's seen a million practice uses.
Mm-hmm.
And so I run outside, I hop the fence, and I go over to the guy, and he's over like this. He's white as a ghost. And I go, let me see. He lifts his hand, and just arterial blood, squirts all over me. And then my adrenaline's like, and I'm like, oh shit. And so I grab the tourniquet. I pull his shirt off. I grab the tourniquet. It was his right arm. I pull it up. I latch it on. Used my training, and the bleeding stopped. Now, in the meanwhile, I'm doing all this. This woman that was my neighbor. She's trying to call 911 with his phone. So the dispatch is trying to talk to me. I'm not really paying attention. The lady's just like, let me talk you how to do medical stuff. I'm like, listen, I'm a nurse. Like, I could try and figure this out. I did stop the bleeding. And then I'm like, so the dispatcher, I'm like, we need EMS now. And about 4 minutes after I tourniqueted his arm, Broward County Sheriff's Department walks in the back door. We pick him up, move him out to the cul-de-sac, sit him down. The cops want to talk to him. I'm like, this guy's not in the. He was a little intoxicated.
Yeah.
And so, and so they sit him. They're like trying to talk to him. I'm like, well, guys, let me sit down and assess this guy. I ask him like 3 questions. He has no idea what's going on. It's the mix of the blood loss and the drinking together. It was just not a good combo.
And just shock to your system.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, his adrenaline was to the roof. He thought he was legitimately was going to die. I mean, after I met him in the hospital, and he remembers bits and pieces, but not the whole thing. Like, I will never forget that. And my girlfriend watched the entire thing. She saw the whole thing. So, little Broward County girl watching some crazy shit she's not trained for. But I did buy her a tourniquet for her birthday, and she's like, why? And then after that, she's like, I got to find that. And they took him to the hospital. The cops were like, holy crap, man, that was amazing. You saved that guy's life. I went home, got in the shower with all my clothes on because I was covered in this blood. And his dad came and found me a couple days later. Went to the hospital, visited him, and then they took me and my girlfriend out to dinner. I still talk to him. He's a good dude.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that is a fantastic segue into get medical training. Have med gear. Everyone has that, mindset of, if I have my concealed, if something goes sideways, I'll just be the guy that shoots the bad guy and is, yay, parade's in my name. No, that's which one's
I mean, it's important. We were always taught self-aid first until the threat is neutralized. At least that's what Army doctrine, right?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, obviously, when it comes down to it, it's all different kinds of situations. Like, sure, like, your buddy's going to get shot in the Army. He's going to be able to put the tourniquet on. But if your wife gets shot and and she doesn't have the proper training or doesn't know how to use the training, and that's your wife, man, or
Yeah.
your kid. Like that's a totally different story. And
Well, not only that, you saved your neighbor. How many times, anyone watching this, like all 8 of you, um, have you been driving down, an interstate or anywhere, and you've witnessed the accident happen?
yeah, I've never seen the bad one, but
Oh, I've seen some like gnarly ones.
Yeah.
But I also was a truck driver for a while.
oh, okay.
EMS isn't getting there for a minute. Like, sometimes it's on you to get out and make sure that people don't die. And yeah, carry your gun. Always have your gun. Also have med gear. I have a bunch of med gear in my van. He has med gear in his truck. Med gear is
In
important.
my range, especially in your range stuff.
Yeah.
On your kit.
Yeah.
I have one here. I know it doesn't look that cool, but I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
On my plate carrier, it's right here. Yep. He has the cool stuff. I'm just jerry rigging on there. I don't know. I have a 511 Tactec. It works perfectly fine for me. Whatever. But yeah. I mean, having the equipment is the most important part. But equipment doesn't mean shit if you don't have training.
So definitely,
And it's simple. It's simple training.
I mean, how many places do stop the bleed classes? See, even my dogs are agreeing right now. I think Amazon's here. But yeah, so that was his little story. I'm also giving him a Johnny trigger.
Yep, I have one in my Glock 19 that and I love it. It's amazing. They're amazing triggers, like no doubt. Like this is my Glock 17. The framework done by my man here. Let's make sure it's clear quick. We're good.
We already checked that.
Yeah, we
before.
already checked, but we
all
always
of these. But you guys are gonna be like, oh, you didn't check and see if it was clear. Yeah,
we're clear.
all of this is clear.
Yep. And so it's a Glock 17 Gen 4, nothing crazy, simple. The slide work was done by a guy in Fort Myers. I'm upset I don't remember the guy's name, but he did amazing at an amazing lead time. This is the E160 Cerakote, the Holosun 507C. It's the same one, the one you suggested I get.
Yeah.
I love it. I can do dick and drills no problem with this thing.
I actually
on the
don't
full
have
frame.
any of those in here.
Yep, and then obviously a Surefire light can't go wrong. And then the framework done by your man here. It's awesome. I get a lot of compliments on it. So,
well, I would show you guys how to swap out this trigger, but YouTube frowns upon that. So if you want to see that video, you can go on my Instagram, and it's on there. So I have 2 options for you. So this is a 5.5 pound spring that your Glock comes standard with. There's a 4.5 pound
give me the lightest
spring here.
Give me the lightest one.
Now this is your striker spring. So the option that I brought is a 6 pound spring. It will make it slightly heavier of a pull, but dog shit ammo will fire.
And
Here,
well,
I'll put it on, and you can try it.
Well, I have 3 suppressors in jail. Thanks. I'd like those eventually. Hopefully I get them before this pistol brace thing, because then there's going to be 20 million new e-files, and I'm so fucked at that point, man. I'm never getting my cans. Anyway, so I bought an Omega 36M. I bought it through Only the Best Firearms in Pompano Beach. They have an amazing store, probably one of the best gun stores I've ever been to. Not sponsored, nothing. I'm just giving them a good plug because the people there, some gun stores I go to, people think they're just hot shit, and it's a problem I've noticed a lot in a lot of gun stores and stuff. Like, people take one look at me and they see the nose ring, they see the earrings, they see whatever, and they just assume.
Yeah.
And look, man, it's okay. I don't blame them, but. And I'm not like a spiteful guy or like whatever, this, that, and the third. Like, I get it, but dude, why don't just everyone be nice to each other? Like, you're a nice guy. That's why we get along. And anyway, so people at Only the Best are really nice. They're really good with NFA items, and they also have a really cool wall. The owner has a really cool gun rack on the top of the store that's just filled with prevans.
Oh, that's awesome.
None of them are for sale, unfortunately. But he's a big collector.
Well, that's just because they're just going up in value for him.
Well, yeah. I mean, I have a pre-ban AK. It's a 1985 Wasser 10. Unfortunately, it's not a machine gun. I wish.
Yeah, that'd be worth a bunch of money for you.
Yeah, but I bought it. I bought it in a used Colorado gun store for when I lived in Colorado for $600. It's worth more than that now.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
I mean, a dog shit AR or AK is worth more than that right now.
I don't know.
just
I'm never
because-
ever selling it. That's going to be a family heirloom. I don't give a shit. So I don't care how much it's worth. I don't care if it's worth 30 grand. Unless I get something way cooler, then maybe. But I don't
A
know.
full auto pre-ban.
A transferable machine gun.
Yes.
Did you see Demolition Ranch's video?
Yes.
The one where he bought the AK. He tried to buy the MP5. How much did the MP5? Like 50 grand.
Yeah, that's the average for that. I've seen that.
Have you ever shot an MP5 before?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're awesome.
A bunch?
They're freaking sweet.
Like when the SWAT guys would come out to train at the Bullet Farm.
R.I.P.
Like
R.I.P.
literally the first day they all came out, they were like, "Well, this place is awesome." Dude walked to the back of his cruiser, pulls out an MP5
Because Lee County
and
uses
a mag,
MP5s. Yeah,
and just tosses it to me. He goes, "Go play with that. We're gonna train over here." And I was like,
that's fucking sweet.
"Sweet." It's like, how often does like
You think Carmine is a little biased towards the MP5 because everyone else is using SBRs, all the other cops, right?
if you can have an
Well-
SBR, but I believe you have to supply it yourself.
Well, technically MP5s are SBRs, right? The cheap
Yeah.
ones. Sorry, it's very dirty. I shot.
No, I don't
I didn't clean it. I went shooting. There's a range until you guys figure out what's going on with the bull farm. There's a range out in Immokalee called.
That's the 6-pound spring.
Okay, a little heavier, but
It will. So, the box of ammo you just passed over there when we walked in, that is some crap from the beginning of COVID when there was all the issues. It doesn't work in shit. So the guns, like this has a 6-pound spring and this has a 6-pound spring in it now, and I've had no problems running it with those.
well, that's why I'm saying that's another reason why I might be okay with this.
So
Is because I'm going to be running it suppressed.
I will throw this one in and let you feel the difference.
I'm like Grantham over here. Takedown, wall, click. Oh. That's a dude I'd like to meet. He seems
I wonder if
pretty
he's
cool.
going to CanCon. I feel like he's going to go to CanCon.
What is that? A suppressor? Or...
Yes, it's put on by Recoil Magazine and Surefire?
Is that one of the
I don't know.
things?
Yeah, it's like a big thing in Georgia.
Where they like only shoot suppressed. You can't
Yeah.
shoot Yeah. No earplugs.
Yep.
That Surefire. That's a company that I would trust my life with. 100%. That's why I bought an RC. I bought an RC too, because I bought the Geisley. Super Duty from Only the Best. They always have like really high end ARs in stock. Like if you can't find it online. Can't find it anywhere. Only the Best in Pompano Beach. They pretty much always have like the nice high end stuff. They always have all the cans that are good, and they don't sell dog shit. So
Nice.
and they have those. What are those really expensive revolvers? What is that one revolver Grandin has? That $6,000 revolver.
So that's with the slightly lighter spring.
Anyway, so the Geisley Super Duty, it's a 14.5-inch barrel with the pin and welded muzzle device, and the muzzle device is a Surefire flash hider. So the RC2 will just go right on there.
Nice. I'm going with the 6 in mine, personally.
But with the suppressor, would I want the lighter trigger or the heavier trigger?
Oh no, that's just so it's the
It's-
the striker spring. So this is what's making your
Yeah, I
firing
don't
pin
know.
hit. So I'm just because of pre-COVID, wouldn't care. I used the slightly powered down for everything because it made the trigger pull feel a lot better. But because COVID happened and all the fucked up ammo that's floating around out there, from when everyone panicked and then all these people were like, "Oh, let's see if we can put rifle primers in the handgun ammo to make it work," and it didn't work, but we still have it out there and we sold it, and so then there's just dog shit ammo everywhere, or just crappy primers in general.
Fuck it, I'll go with the 6.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only half a pound lighter.
I mean,
I trust my life with
It's
the
a-
Johnny trigger. It doesn't matter. I don't care.
it's 1,000 times better than your stock trigger, regardless.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate Glock triggers. I don't. But the goddamn, the Johnny triggers are just so much better. It's not even funny. It's
Yes.
not even close. Not even a little bit. I'm trying to think of the worst trigger I've ever shot. High points don't count.
Now that's like high point. I mean, it's even in the name, like high end, high quality, best gun out there. I mean, you don't have to do anything to it. You can anchor your boat. All you got to do is connect the string.
I've only shot one time. It was a 45.
It's like a brick.
It's for real.
It's like cinder blocks.
You run out of
way
ammo,
less.
you can throw it at somebody.
Yeah, just have a string tied to it, swing it around.
You wouldn't feel as bad because I'd feel hard pressed to chuck my Glock 17 at somebody. You know?
Put your light back on it. There you
Yeah,
go.
man. Yep. There we go.
And here's your old
Sweet.
parts.
Thanks, man. Appreciate
And
it.
the red thing is a sticker.
I'll throw it on my gun safe. I've been putting stickers on my gun safe.
Yeah, you
Oh
gotta
shit,
put
man! I have
stickers
some
on
stickers
everything.
for you next time I see you.
Sweet. I love stickers. Not that y'all can
Yeah.
tell from seeing my stippling cart. So you were the reason you're over here is you're on your way back from a wedding.
Yes.
So how'd that go?
It's whatever. It's just a nice, simple wedding.
Was the food good?
Yeah. Yeah, it was really good actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like that's the only reason I go to weddings. It's just like, what's the food? Oh, I'm busy.
Oh, I mean, I drove all the way to Chattanooga, which isn't that far. I woke up at 7 and I've been here for what, almost an hour now.
Something like that.
Yeah. So, and then I still have to drive all the way back to South Florida.
Yeah, you're like 3 hours away.
Well, I have to go back to my parents' house in Naples because I drove my mom's car because I have a truck and I did not want to drive a truck all the way there.
Come on, it's not like gas is expensive or anything.
Nope.
Oh, wait
not
a
at
minute.
all.
No.
It was cheaper in Georgia. I got it.
Yeah.
This morning I got gas. It was $3 a gallon, but my mom's got an Audi, so I just use mid grade. It doesn't really matter what kind of fuel you use, but they've been using the premium in it for so long. It's 100,000. Car's got 100,000 miles on it, so I said, man, I know better because
That's rookie numbers. Have you seen my van?
yeah, man, that van's legit though. Can't hate on it if it. You know what I'm saying?
It's like the ultimate sleeper vehicle. Like nobody has the slightest idea. Oh, it's an old dented up mom van. Yeah. Whole back is
the
gutted.
deadliest van
There's a
in
bunch of
Southwest
guns,
Florida.
body armor, all kinds of stuff. It's like let's do something.
You give me PTSD every time I see a van like that. Oh god. Oh shit. But yeah. I was listening to a couple people's pistol brace video, and I like calling noirs.
I sent you
That's
that
the one.
right
Yeah,
there.
I listened to it on YouTube, like he had like a whole
Yeah.
5-minute thing. But what I don't understand is, so it's gonna make Elamal an NFA item. I mean, I don't have any I don't have any pistols that have braces. I don't have any of those guns.
I have one right there, one there, one there.
I mean,
Some over there
I don't know. I'm
in the
just,
van.
I don't know. I like rifles. I like getting the velocity out of
Yeah.
my weapons. I mean, he said, she said, this, that, and the third, whatever. But I kind of saw this coming, and maybe I'm just being a little bitch. But I don't know. That's the thing. But that's ridiculous. It's just
Yeah.
ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
I'm on the fence. So I think that it might help because all the lawsuits that are already being filed and whatnot, and that they're using the Bruin case precedents for, to try to get the NFA just booted completely. If there's ongoing lawsuits happening, and they do this, and those lawyers are going to go, look at how retarded the NFA is. Yesterday, there was 100 million people following the law. Today, there's 100 million people that are now criminals for something that you literally said was allowed yesterday, and then you changed your mind.
Yeah, and they don't make it public knowledge either. So
No.
that's the problem. Like, it would be one thing, like, they think it's 20 to 40 or 40 to like almost 100 million people, like you're saying. that have these braces that have no idea that ATF is even scheming this. Like, and like there are plenty of like, and it's gonna get people in trouble. But that's the thing. Like these cases that go to Supreme Court, like Bruin and all these cases, it's usually someone who's law abiding that gets hit up by this Chevron deference bullshit. Like,
and I've met people, like there were people that came up to the Bullet Farm that had SBRs that didn't know they had an SBR.
oh shit.
Like they didn't understand that, because some of the pistol braces just go right on a normal buffer tube. Like the telescoping one. Do I have one in here? No, that one's in the van. But it's a telescoping pistol brace. He was like, I don't like this. I like the Magpul ones better. And he literally bought it at the same time he bought the gun from the same gun store. And they didn't think to inform this gentleman.
Yo, that as soon as he changes a brace to a stock,
Yeah.
that he's
And so
committing
he
a
got out
felony. Oh my god.
He got out there. He was shooting. I go over and I'm like, hey, so do you have a stamp for that? And he's like, what's that? And so my buddy who's a sheriff, he was out there and he comes over and he was like, you are ungodly lucky that we're the ones that are explaining this to you. He's like, I don't want to arrest anybody for guns, ever. He's like, and because we're in a situation where I'm off duty, I can, and this isn't a traffic stop or anything, I can just explain this to you. He's like, so then we went through explaining.
That's a legal precedence if someone like doesn't know, like.
Yeah, he was like, he turned
that's
white.
wrong.
He turned white. He didn't even realize the dude that was out there with me was a sheriff because he's in plain clothes. And he was like, and we explained it all. He was like, take off, put this one on. I don't want this anymore. And we're like, no, buy another gun, put it on there. It's fine. Just make sure the barrel's the right length, and you'll be fine. He's like, why didn't they tell me this at the gun store? And I'm like, because they didn't give a shit. They just wanted to make a sale.
And that's not every gun store. Most gun stores, like I feel like if I went to Only the Best and bought a pistol from them and tried to buy a stock at the same time, they'd look at me and be like, you sure you want to do that? And I'd be like, why? And they explain it to me. But you're right. There are some people. Look, man. Most gun owners, 90%, 95%, 98%, whatever, however, is good intention people. Me, I own guns because they're fun to shoot. They are. I know they're stress relieving to me. Obviously, that's not for everyone. I took my girlfriend to shoot the other day for the first time, and she's like, bang, and she's like, all right, it's not for her. She liked the 22.
Yeah.
And when I get my dead air mask, I'm sure she'll love it because we won't have to wear ears or nothing, and so I'm looking forward to that. Give me stamp. Anyway, so but you're right, and I respect everybody's choice to, like, if you don't want guns, if you don't like guns, whatever.
Yeah, it's like, if you don't like them and I like them, cool. You like video games, I don't like video games, cool.
Yeah,
we're still friends. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, I don't really care. I mean, I live in Broward County. There's still a lot of liberals there.
Yeah.
But there's a lot less than you think. There's a lot less than you think.
Next time.
Trust me.
I don't remember. Do you have nods? You do.
No, I wish, man.
Well, next time we're there for the Miami Gun Show, we're going back to the abandoned hospital.
With your nods.
Yes.
Okay. I already have everything set for it. I have a rhino mount and everything, bro. And a J-arm.
We're going to do it a little different this time. We're going to bring, like, kit and everything with us. And I'm probably not going to have to bribe the guard $20 because I'll make you want to play with some night vision. You know you want to, and he'll be like...
Yeah, I might be down. You know what's always fun with nods, and what we did in the Army was we'd all be wearing our nods, or I would use PPS 14s, like the old school ones. And we'd be wearing them, and it was in Hawaii, I was stationed in Hawaii, and sometimes it would get, like, pitch black. Because they'd send us to the... What was it? Kahukus? Oh, man. Kahukus is the devil. Anyone that was stationed in the 25th Infantry Division in 2nd Brigade or 3rd Brigade out in Hawaii and was an infantryman and went to Kahukus knows the horror and the hells of Kahukus. Anyway, it even just sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Getting rained on, marching to the blood comes through your boots because you're just, anyway, I can't feel my feet sometimes. But, yeah, we'd go out there and they'd give us an IR chem light. And if you guys don't know what an IR chem light is, you break it, and if it could be pitch black and you won't see anything coming. You know what I'm talking about, right? And you won't see
I
anything.
have a box of them somewhere.
Yeah, I have some somewhere too. But once you put the nods on, it glows like a piece of, like in The Simpsons, like that radioactive material in the beginning, and it looks just like that. And we put it in a Gatorade bottle, in the water bottle, and throw it to each other. Get hit in the nuts enough time, you get good at using nods. So I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good at using night vision. I mean, that's what
we'll have to make that a video. I've got the Psyonix night vision camera.
Yeah.
So we can set that up, so we'll be able to see us actually playing hot potato.
Yeah, when I eventually get my nods. But because you'll take a video without the night vision, and you'll just see us tossing a bottle. But as soon as you see the night vision, you're like, holy crap.
Yeah, I'll have to have like a GoPro and then the Psyonix, so we can like have a.
But you need like 6 people with nods, and you play hot potato with it.
We can do that.
There's
enough of us.
There's a couple bruises I remember having from that, being a private, and they're like, hey, and you're like, ah, shit, and they're laughing at you. But we all went through it, and I probably threw one at some private. I was like, hey, put your nods on, and then
catch. Boom.
that was. The infantry was cool, but also sucked.
I mean, it was a job.
Yeah.
You signed up for it.
Yeah. I don't regret it, but it was sometimes wasn't fun. But some of my best friends in my whole life is from I met in that job. So, and I still talk to them. It's like your college buddies. But I didn't go to college right away, which, in hindsight, I probably should have.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like if I went to college first and then into the Army, I could have just focused more on being in the Army than what do I want to do after I get out. Because I kept being like,
yeah, that would.
What do I want to do when I get out? And I was always focused on my job and doing what I had to do, and whether I was taking care of the strikers or being a saw gunner or taking care of my weapon, but there was always that looming, well, what am I going to do? And then was like right before I got out, I decided I want to get into nursing school in like the last couple of months, like after I got into the University of Colorado while I was in Hawaii, and I was just like, I don't care anymore. Unfortunately, but I feel like if I went to college first, I would have been like about it the whole time, and then got out and it's been way more successful straight off.
I mean, you're doing pretty good for yourself now.
Yeah, now at 30 years old.
Well, how many people in their like mid-20s, early 20s are doing great unless they just happen to like hit the correct algorithm and get famous on the internet real quick?
Yeah, it would be nice, huh?
Well, hi, Gimpy. You know you're not supposed to be in here. Okay, come here. Come here. Hey, do you want to be on the camera?
Hello. Okay. Gimpy, because they're missing an arm.
Yep. Nub rubs.
Yeah, dude. So, how many Bucks holsters do you have?
Like 8.
He made those mag pouches for you? Yeah. Yeah, those are pretty sweet. I don't know if you can see them in the camera or not. You can see it. Yeah, you can see it.
These, the custom Miami Tiger Stripe stuff, yeah. Ross makes all that for me. Bucks holsters is the shit.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I have the Stay Ready gear, but they're no longer a company, so.
You're not supposed to be in here either, Sasha.
The next time I buy a holster, it'll definitely be from him. I like to support local. I mean, this guy was local too, or not in Florida, but he was a small guy, but unfortunately went under, which is, it happens. Sometimes business doesn't work out. What are you doing?
They like to wrestle. All right, guys, out. Go. Well, I guess we'll wrap this up. We'll go let the dogs outside, and let's go get food, because I'm hungry.
All right, I'm done.
End of podcast. We don't have an exit, outro, whatever the fuck. It's just end.